when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Today is Friday, the 20th of February 2026. It's time to wake up, it's time to get ready, it's time to get going. I hope you said your prayers, you had a little breakfast to eat, and you're getting those children ready for school. And you're going to tackle the last working day with all that energy and fervor that you're accustomed to. I am joined in studio by the lovely Vanessa Ortiz. Good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning, Akinlavi. Good morning to all viewers here in Tobago, Trinidad, regionally and internationally. I want to thank you so much for joining us here again on another episode of Tobago Updates Morning Show.
Yes, viewers, we have a very interesting lineup for you all this morning. We have so much to discuss. But before we get into any of those conversations, we head on over to our news in 90 seconds.
And here's what's making news in 90 seconds for February 20th, 2026. After sweeping the opening round, the West Indies have advanced to the Super 8 of the ICC T20 World Cup. Their quest for a record-breaking third title begins February 23rd against Zimbabwe, followed by South Africa on February 26th and India on March 1st. If they finish in the top two of their group, they will progress to the semi-finals on March 4th or 5th, with the final scheduled for March 8th. The inaugural Spelling Bee kicked off yesterday at Scarborough Library, drawing eager participants from standards 1 to 5. 3 of Tobago's 4 Seventh-day Adventist schools competed, with North Regional SDA School claiming the top prize. Tobago SDA Conference Education Director Jamila Joseph Nichols indicated that years of targeted literacy and learning programs island-wide have seen improved student reading development. Organizers have announced plans to make the competition an annual fixture. Trinidad and Tobago is officially off the European Union's tax blacklist. The EU Council delisted TNT this week after it met international tax transparency standards. The Twin Island Republic was one of the 3 nations cleared in this latest update. Fiji and Samoa were also removed from the non-cooperative list. This removal ends years of strict financial monitoring by European authorities. Local businesses will no longer face higher withholding taxes on payments from the EU. The change also restores access to the European Investment Bank and global climate funds. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Vanessa, for that news in 90 seconds. And we could see there were some positive news coming out from the central government, where they stated that we are removed from the European Union blacklist, and it bodes well for our business sector and for the government in terms of dealing on the international financial markets. And it gives to Trinidad and Tobago another opportunity to access financing to manage our affairs.
Yeah, because for a small economy like Trinidad and Tobago, global banking relationships are very crucial to our development and our ability to borrow from these institutions for infrastructure, for education, for healthcare. So having this new development is really it's a good thing for TNT.
Yes, indeed. And I see we have some bit of sports news as well. I don't know how much you're into sports, but we see the West Indies doing pretty well in the T20 World Cup.
I am not too much of a sport person, but I do wish the West Indies all the best going forward in this competition.
There's some very good news for those cricket fans who have been long suffering with the West Indies cricket team. Getting some really good news. The team is doing pretty well in the T20 World Cup, and we wish them all the success, and they could go straight to the finals and bring the trophy home. Do it for us, Guys, we've been sticking by you all for so long. suffering through the bad times. Give us some good times, no, man. Give us something to cheer about. The entire region has your back. All right, so now it's time to celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. Yes, and at Tobago Updates, whatever you're celebrating, we like to celebrate with you. And we start the birthday shout-outs by saying happy birthday to Miss Abby Smith. Abby Adams, my apologies. Happy birthday to Miss Abby Adams. God's richest blessings. Today is your special day. Pray God's richest blessings over you and that He covers you and that you celebrate with friends and family. You stay safe and you reflect on all the good things that has happened in your life and everything that you set your mind to in the upcoming year, in the upcoming 2, 3, 10, 100 years. You succeed at them all.
Up next, we have Naisha Smith. Happy birthday from us here at the Tobago Updates family. We hope you have a bright and splendid day today, spent with those who cherish and appreciate you, and that the year going forward is prosperous and filled with nothing but joy and goodness.
Yes, viewers, and whatever you're celebrating, we want to celebrate with you, whether it's a birthday, anniversary, graduation, you buy a new home, you start a new business, whatever it is you're celebrating, we want to celebrate with you. So send us the information here at Tobago Updates, and Tobago, Trinidad, the region, and the world will celebrate with you. Yes, indeed. Vanessa, what do we have on the program today? We know Fridays is usually a light day, so tell us, what's on the program?
This morning, for a two-part segment, we have Alan Stewart, director of TEMA, along with Linford Beckles, and we're talking about TEMA's response to Speyside sarcasm. So that's on our two-part segment, and after that, we have Marcus, who is going to be taking us into a bit of sports, and he's going to be speaking to Lisselle James, national pickleball player, and we're going to be talking about the pickleball movement in Tobago.
That's right, that's right. I have a couple of friends who play pickleball, you know.
I have a friend who plays pickleball as well. It seems very interesting and exciting.
Very interesting, yeah.
I think I saw the clearing in Bacalet where they spruced up that space a bit for pickleball to be up and going.
Tennis courts in Bacalet.
Yes.
They play there, and I think they also trying to start at one of the hotels down in Crown Point as well. So the pickleball movement really is picking up in Tobago. If you're looking for something to do, I guess pickleball could be something nice, light and fun. I don't know. Some persons might want to take it more seriously and go to tournaments and that kind of thing.
Well, I hope to see you on the pickleball field.
I hope to see myself on the pickleball court as well. I hope to see myself on the pickleball court as well. Viewers, we want to thank you for logging on with us, whether it's our Facebook Live or YouTube channel. 102 on AMPLIA, 121 and 130 on Flow, or 33 on Digicel. Whether you're in Tobago, Trinidad, the Caribbean region, the wider world, we want to thank you for making Tobago Updates Television Tobago's #1 television station. And we ask you to do us that very big favor that we ask of you every day. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to Tobago Updates Morning Show. Before we went on the break, we went into the rundown about what we were speaking about this morning, and we're talking about the sargassum situation in Speyside this morning with Alan Stewart and Linford Beckles, who are here in studio with us this morning. Good morning and welcome to you, gentlemen.
Good morning, and good morning all of Tobago and by extension Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, for the viewers who may not fully understand, can you describe to the public what is the situation currently with the sargassum in Speyside?
Well, once again, we have seen the influx of sargassum playing a major role on our environment, in the sense that one of the challenges we have is that of sargassum. We have seen that happening since 2011, where we saw an increased deposit of this type of seaweed impacting our shorelines, and it has an impact on our way of life, our fishing industry, the tourism industry, And Speyside is one of those areas that over the years have come under heavy impact and has influenced a way forward as to how we treat with it, the planning that goes into it, and the response that we mechanism. And over the years, the studies that we have done and been able to come up with a comprehensive plan. I must say that plan requires some level of doing over or looking at the plan again and ensure that it's futuristic based on where we are and the developments that is taking place. And I think the public needs to know where we are in that regard.
Now, as a child, and the pictures that were placed on the screen just a while ago, I have always noticed that around that Sargassum build-up time in Speyside, that is exactly how it looks. And we know in Speyside we have a lot of fishermen that is always on that jetty trying to make a way of life. And I know you mentioned a plan going forward. Can you describe a little bit what that plan looks like?
The plan spoke to, I should go back to the history. In 2011, following that, when we recognize that sargassum is now part of our hazards that we have to deal with on a yearly basis, we sat with a number of players involving the IMA and a number of various stakeholders of the environment in the Tobago House of Assembly, and we were able to look at a comprehensive plan, one that look at research and development, one that look at response, look at the vulnerability, look at early warning, and more importantly, crisis communications. I heard you ask me a question about, the public impact on the public and how do we tell people what to do and things like that. So we have become very much tooled with these information and the mechanism. In the development part, what we recognize is that it was important for us to, when we look at the vulnerability and the increased and the mammoth size of these input as a result of climate change and the impact of climate change, which is the breeding ground of all of this. We reach out to international partners, and the UNDP answered that call, and the JICA, which is the Japanese Association of Corporate Agency, international agency, they would have, the Japanese body JICA would have funded a project that started over 3 or 4 years ago, looking at 5 major islands in the Caribbean, and Trinidad and Tobago was one of those, and our voice was heard around the table, and we went to the direction of the acquisition, trying to acquire equipment. I must tell you that just around 2015, it cost the THA over $3 million in cleanup. And it became to a state where contractors were very, very concerned about putting their equipment in the salt. It's a very, very difficult one. We experienced that in 2024 with the oil spill, where Tobago contractors were not coming forward as a result of that history. Saying this, JICA would have answered and provided the funding to the UNDP, and we now have what you call a MOU that is championed through the IMA and the Tobago House of Assembly, whereby there is an acquisition of equipment coming into the country. We have started receiving, last year we would have received a tractor, late last year. There are some finishes in terms of the assembling the appurtenances to that tractor and have it licensed for the road. We expect by sometime this month or early next month that another piece of equipment will be here, which is a vessel that is allowed to remove the sargassum from the sea itself. So while the tractor will do the beaches, the vessel will be able to do those near shore inundation area, have it cleared. So this is where we are in the process going forward. And as I indicated, those 5 priority areas are well in play with a view now of looking at the plan. We just came out of a very interesting election whereby the structure of the divisions such where people have moved around and divisions have moved from one to one. So I believe by later on today, coming out of a meeting at Shore Park, we will have a clear understanding as to how the Office of the Chief Secretary, which team it falls under, and how we will be able to navigate and look at the plan again, because the plan now needs to be done over. Yeah.
I know you mentioned earlier about contractors being concerned about utilizing their equipment in the saltwater, because we know of rust and all of these things happening and it can damage their equipment. Apart from that, are there any logistical challenges in assessing certain coastlines in Speyside? Because Speyside isn't just a bay.
Yes.
There are so many edges, and sargassum can get caught in these areas and it can make it very difficult. Are there any logistical challenges?
I think I'll turn to Mr. Beckles. He better know the terrain better than me. But yes, there is. And he might want to explain as to how some areas are difficult to put equipment there, especially in areas like Bacalet, just across the Bacalet. You have difficulty going to the beach or getting equipment there. So Mr. Beckles, you may want to talk about that.
Right, thank you very much, and good morning to you, and good morning to the viewers online. It's a very good question. Speyside, just like most of the beaches on the Atlantic coast, it's a combination of sandy areas and rocky areas. Of course, it's going to be much easier to make interventions on the sandy areas. The rocky areas are quite difficult to get to, and therefore interventions in general are quite limited in rocky areas and so on. The equipment that Mr. Stewart spoke about that we are receiving through UNDP, most of that equipment is expected to, like the tractors and so on, those are expected to be used in interventions on the sandy portions of the coastline. And what is expected to happen is that there is expected to be an increase in collection, but also an increase in the efficiency of the collection, and therefore a reduction in terms of the impact. Because as you may know, when we remove sargassum, not only sargassum is actually removed, there is some sand and so on that is actually removed in the process, and that is not necessarily great in terms of the integrity, the structural integrity of the beaches. The vessel that Mr. Stewart mentioned, of course, it is intended to facilitate in-water collection, and that should actually give us greater capacity to be able to, pay some attention to some of those areas that we are not now able to routinely conduct cleanup operations as for example, some of the rocky points and so on. But I just want to indicate and so on, because it's very important it's very important to give the public information, but it's also important to set the tone right as well, and not necessarily to raise the expectations too high. It's only one vessel we'll be having, right? And that vessel is really intended for use in the Speyside area. Now, to the extent that we are able to, that we have the time and so on, and the opportunity to use it in other areas, then we will do so, right? But I don't want the public to think that that the vessel will be all up and down the place from Crown Point to Speyside and so on, right? That is not what it is intended for. This is really a pilot project, and based on the success of the project, we can now make additional investments in additional equipment and so on, so that we can have a much bigger impact on the Atlantic coastline.
Now, I think we would also want to find out how is the sargassum disposed of after it's being collected.
Okay, well, that is another very good question. And again, I'll probably want to go back to the history and so on, right? As Mr. Stewart mentioned, we started receiving sargassum in 2011. The very first big beaching of sargassum and so on that created significant public concerns was in July of 2015. People went to bed. The sea was quite beautiful and so on in Speyside, and they woke up in the morning and all they could see is brown, no sign of blue, right? And today that is the largest deposit of sargassum that we have had, right? We haven't had anything that large since. And it took us just around 29 or 30 days to actually effect the cleanup. At that point, what we did is that we would have identified specific depot points, right? And of course, the identification of those depot points was rooted in pragmatism at the time, right? We really needed to get the material out, so that we would reduce the public health impact on the public, we reduce the disruption to business, and so on. So one of those depot points was just at the area before the bridge that takes you over to Blue Waters Inn. We had another one further up the hill going towards Charlottesville and so on. All right, but those are not necessarily meant to be permanent points, to be permanent depot points. We are actually looking now at establishing one on the Louisdor estate, right, where we have significant public lands that are flat and therefore appropriate for that kind of thing, where we can stockpile the sargassum, we store it temporarily and so on, and then it can be used for various purposes and so on. Again, sargassum is not only a concern in the eastern part of Tobago, it is very much a concern in the west. And we would know of the situation down at Petitru, extending all the way down to the Magdalena Hotel, and we have made significant interventions there over the years. And we were able to establish a permanent depot point in the Friendship area. And we are actually engaged at present in partnership with the Division of Infrastructure in upgrading that particular depot point, lining it with geotextile material and so on to reduce any potential impact on groundwater and that sort of thing. We recently reopened the road and so on to provide for ease of access and so on. And we would expect that probably within a month or so we should be finished with that. That particular process. But it is all geared towards providing some temporary storage solutions and so on, right? So that we can better invest in the management of the situation.
Thank you, Mr. Beckles. Now, viewers, we're just going to head for a short break, but when we come back, we're going to continue the conversation. But I want to remind you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yeah. Total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And yes, Vanessa stepped away. We are tag team this morning tackling this issue of sargassum in Tobago. And gentlemen, we were having a conversation before, and we noted that you stated that the TH is currently collecting and stockpiling the sargassum, that kind of thing. So I just want to get into the conversation of what right now are the Assembly's plans for the sargassum in terms of its usage.
Right, very important question. One of the things that I really want to stress in the context of the management of sargassum is that this is not just the business of the Tobago House of Assembly. It is the business of all of us, the business of the state entities, the business of the private sector, and of course the business of civil society entities. And to be very honest, all of those entities have been making contributions and so on over the years. Obviously, in terms of the stockpiling of the material and so on, that cannot be the end of it. We have to implement plans with respect to how that is used and so on. And there are a couple ways that has been used traditionally, and we want to sort of extend on that. So it has been used to make compost, for example. Some people have actually gone on to make some liquid fertilizers from it and so on. All right. And that is very good, but I think that what you really need to do is to sort of scale that up so that we have a much greater impact in terms of sargassum that we see on the beaches and so on. All right. We have some private initiatives, right, that have been ongoing, where we have Tobagonians right here making beauty products from sargassum. And some of those initiatives were born out of a competition that the Inter-American Development Bank hosted in Tobago. We had Tobagonian participants and some participants from Trinidad engaged in that process. And out of that, there were at least 2 sustainable businesses coming out from Tobago, investing in that kind of thing and so on. So that is critically important. And what we want to do is to provide additional support to those kinds of initiatives and so on that are private sector led. Because one of the things that we have to note is that when you are making products for human consumption, like beauty products and so on, we need to ensure that the products that you are making are safe. Mm-hmm. And so on, right? That are not toxic, those kind of things.
So you make sure that they ISO approved.
Well, yes. And one of the challenges that we have had with sargassum and so on is that the sargassum that we receive essentially comes from the northern portion of South America. And because of all of the industrial activity and so on in that particular area, sometimes what we do find is that the sargassum actually absorbs heavy metals like arsenic and so on, right? And that is something of significant concern. So for those private individuals, they are actually required to send samples of the sargassum that they collect for processing to labs. Some of them use labs as far as the University of the West Indies campus in Mona, on the Mona campus. Okay. And it's quite expensive to conduct some of the tests and so on. So we would want to in a more integrated kind of way provide support to those in the private sector making those kinds of investments, so that they can continue to make a positive impact in terms of the sargassum issue that we have been experiencing here in Tobago. One of the other things that we would want to do, and it's not something that is not an original idea, but it's something that we want to replicate, and that has to do with using the sargassum to make blocks, and it's something we want to do on a trial basis. I mean, it's quite similar to those to the process of making a dirt oven. You know, you know that the clay is sort of infused with grasses and that kind of thing, which helps to bind it and so on. And this is something that we have seen in Mexico and one or two other places and so on, and it's something that we want to do. Of course, there might be some cultural issues associated with using that for house construction and so on, but certainly it's something that we can potentially use in landscape development, for example. Right?
Pavers or something.
Yes, this is something that we can potentially. So we want to partner with more people and invest in that direction. And maybe finally, what I want to mention is that not only sargassum, the business of all of us in Tobago, but of course we need to continuously work in collaboration with other partners in Trinidad and internationally. And at present, Mr. Stewart and I are engaged on a national committee. On that committee, we are doing several things. We are promoting research. We are promoting business development. As a matter of fact, the committee was really the brainchild of the Ministry of Planning and Development. And just recently, the Minister of Plan and Development actually gave us a mandate to in very short order develop some concrete business plans and so on to facilitate greater investment in the management and the use of sargassum. And that is one of the things that we are working towards, and that process should be completed by the middle of next month, and so on. And probably in April we'll start seeing the rollout of some of those initiatives and so on. But it involves international partners as far as Finland and the UK and so on. So we are making strides with our local partners, but we are also involving regional and international partners in facilitating sustainable solutions to the issue.
No, I know you stated that there is some private involvement in the use of sargassum, but do you think that the level of involvement right now is at a satisfactory level? Is the THA trying to expand and get even more people to come on board, or is the number of persons satisfactory? You just want those persons now to expand their operations?
Well, we are very happy to have expansion in any direction. Right, whether the existing persons and so on expand their businesses and their operations, or whether we do have additional players. There's always this saying about about taxis and so on in Tobago. You know, how many persons can a taxi take and so on, and the answer is always one more. Right? And I think this situation qualifies similarly. I mean, we are always happy to have additional entrepreneurs become involved in the process, because the more people we have involved in the process, the faster we'll get to sustainable solutions. And this is something that the Tobago House Assembly would want to support, because we believe that the private sector has a very, very important role to play in providing us with solutions to the challenges we have been having with sargassum.
No, Mr. Stewart, I know where we were off air, we were talking about this comprehensive approach that the THA has developed towards dealing with sargassum. I don't know if you will be able to expose on it so the public could understand that the THA is looking at this problem from all different angles.
Yes, certainly. And, I really appreciate Mr. Beckles making the point as to that direction in terms of the entrepreneurship opportunities. But more importantly, the conversation began with the risks involved, because sargassum in its own brings along other challenges in terms of health challenges. It's a pungent scent, and therefore one has to deal with those factors, especially if you live in downwind of the sargassum, and most of the Atlantic is like that, especially villages like Speyside. And therefore, it's important for us to remind and also to encourage persons what are the do's and the don'ts as it relates to this hazard. So one of the key things that we have seen is that sometimes people, sargassum itself brings along, it traps sometimes fish. A fish nested in it, and you also have other creatures, some of which comes up from the Oronico area south of us. We observe that sometimes it brings along other things, and therefore we ask the public to continue to exercise caution, listen to the advisories, and also whatever they do it in a safe way. There is also the pungent scent. For example, the restaurants, the hotels in the Speyside area, the community itself is at risk, and therefore there are techniques that we unearthed during the 2015 episodes, where these health matters was dealt with by way of simple purchasing Vicks. If you have to be in the area, you put it on the tip of your nostril so the pungent scent is not smelled. And also we know that the gases emanating from it interfere with electronics and even jewelry. My scientific partner may talk more about the gases and that emanates from it and the impact. So these are some of the things that we are very much conscious of, and therefore in dealing with sargassum, we have to treat with those areas as it relates to the average Joe. And therefore we are asking persons to listen to these advisories. Sometimes we forbid people from utilizing the fish that are trapped. Some are, and the sale of it and things like that. So we have to be very cautious as we move around. And we try to ensure that we have an educated public as to how we treat with those risks related to sargassum.
All right, gentlemen, I want to thank you all very much for coming on. Mr. Lynn Fedbeckers, who is the Senior Director of the Environmental, Climate Change and Energy in the Tobago House of Assembly, as well as the Director of TMO, Mr. Alan Stewart, talking to us about dealing with sargassum in Tobago. Viewers, we have to go for a short break, but before, I have an announcement to make, a public service announcement. The TTARP Corals Zone will be holding their monthly meeting tomorrow, Saturday, February 21st at the Signal Hill Community Center, beginning at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Yes, that is the TTARP Coral Zone. We'll be having their monthly meeting Saturday, 21st February at the Signal Hill Community Center from 3 p.m. So all of you all that are involved with the TTARP, make your way out to the meeting tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. Signal Hill Community Center. Viewers, we have to go for a short break, and when we come back, we are discussing sports. Mr. Cricket Marcus Daniel will be in studio to discuss sports and talk about the growth of pickleball in Tobago. So do us a favor, share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
coming up. Fets, pan, parades, soca. Yes, Carnival is in full swing. Artists from all over added their strokes to Antigua and Barbuda's canvas. A boost for these Barbadian projects through the power to make a difference. Equal servings of culture and good cheer. It's Caribbean Passport TV right here on this station.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Coragem.
Hi viewers, welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned to Tobago Updates Television. I want to shout out to Akin Labi and the team for holding down the fort in the previous half hour. But we are into the best segment on a Friday morning. It's sports. We're talking sports this morning, and I'm talking about should I say a new sport here in Tobago? Yes, I should say a new sport in Tobago. But before we get into the discussion, I want to say big up to the West Indies one time. Big up to the West Indies one time. We are 4-4 in the T20 World Cup, and we are looking good for our third T20 title. Now, if they win, those I blight them, right? Because I love to say I like to blight teams. But so far, so good to the West Indies. But guys, we're talking pickleball this morning. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, pickleball this morning. And I have on set with me, Lisselle James. Lisselle James, Sweet Spot Tobago. Good morning to you, Miss James.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, fantastic. And thank you so much for accepting this interview this morning. Now, listen, I have been seeing some friends of mine who have gone past their best in whatever sport they were used to play, footballers, netballers. I'm seeing now that they are very active in playing this particular sport called pickleball. But before we get into that discussion, for someone who is an advocate for the sport of pickleball, right. I must say, as a sport enthusiast, it's the first time I'm actually hearing and seeing people playing it in Trinidad and Tobago. So just for us for persons probably just like me in Tobago who are not aware of pickleball, let's give a background of pickleball and its origin and all these different things.
Okay, so pickleball was created about 60 years ago in the US, and it is basically a mix between tennis, table tennis, and badminton.
Right.
So the actual size of a pickleball court is the size of a badminton court.
Right.
Right? You play with paddles, the paddles and the balls. I'll show you. Like these are the paddles here.
Right.
And you play with a wiffle ball.
What's it called?
A wiffle ball.
Right.
Right? It's a plastic ball with a couple holes inside, but what it is, it's a very light ball and a light paddle. So it makes it easy for anybody to pick up and control.
Right.
Now, once you have a background, a sporting background, let's say you played tennis, you played badminton, you played table tennis when you were younger. Even we have netball players, volleyball players. Once you have like that hand-eye coordination, you're going to pick it up super quickly. And even if you don't, the sport is so easy to pick up. That has led to the popularity right now. Because you come and we'll get you playing matches. First time you come, we're going to have you playing a match and you're going to have fun. It's going to be competitive. Easy to learn, hard to master.
Do we have a national team, a national pickleball team?
So we have a national pickleball team currently. We did the World Cup last year. I was a part of the World Cup team for last year. And we also going to do Caribbean Championships, which is in 3 weeks in Bermuda.
Right.
And we have actually 4 people from Tobago on this team.
So can you name the 4 persons?
So the 4 persons, they are Samantha.
Right.
I would call her the spirit of the team. She's the cheerleader. You can't have a team without Samantha. Then you have Jayshawn. Jayshawn is 14 years old.
Right.
This kid is amazing. And you have Josh. Josh is the trailblazer. He's the one who, if you really want to come and try your luck at challenging somebody at Sweet Spot, try Josh.
Okay.
And then you have myself.
Right.
I would say I'm probably hard trying to just keep everybody together and take us to the Caribbean Championships.
Yeah. So you are the person that spearheading this sport in Tobago. Is there like an association in Tobago, a national association?
So pickleball is such a new sport. The National Association for Trinidad and Tobago is now being formed.
Right.
So that should come on board within a couple of months. In Tobago, I think there were some people playing recreationally, but we came up mid last year, and we started to do it on a larger scale and open it up to the public and started to give lessons and get more people involved.
Yeah.
So.
But who can play pickleball? I mean, is there like an age bracket? Because you mentioned once you are physically active, you can participate. But what if someone wants to take it further? What's an ideal age to say come and try to represent the country?
Right. First of all, in terms of if you want to do recreationally, I have played with people who are 82 years old.
Wow.
And I have played with people who are 6 years old.
Right.
So it spans all age groups. It's one of the few sports that is intergenerational. And you can play with any age group and it can be competitive. Right? In terms of national team-wise now, right now, it is the junior side of things. It's now starting to build. It's a perfect time actually to get involved in the sport. Because it's now starting to get national representation. It's the fastest growing sport in the US at the moment. And I think it's something that really keeps you active in that. When you come, when you visit the courts, you realize how much you see people laughing. It's as if people forget that they used to like to compete. And then when you come and you introduce, we have a lot of adults.
Yeah.
And people are shocked when they come and you see all these adults just laughing, enjoying themselves, working out. My only warning for pickleball is that it is addictive.
Is that I like that.
Once
but
you
it's a good
start
addiction.
to play,
That's a good addiction, though.
once you start to play, you just can't help but want to come back, and you get that dopamine hit every time you hit the ball.
Right.
But my best recommendation is just come and try it, and you'll see for yourself how this sport has been able to change so many lives in terms of people who were not active before. They start pickleball, and then all of a sudden now they have a reason to come out to work out. People are shocked when they leave the t-shirt wet. There's like they didn't realize they was having so much fun, and they didn't realize that it was such a workout they were having.
Yeah, and tell me about the courts in Tobago.
Right.
Where are you located? The courts in Tobago? Because I know from what I've seen on social media, you normally train at Blue Haven area. There's a court there. That's the main area. Are there other courts in Tobago that you practice?
So right now we renovated the Blue Haven courts, and this is what we're using. So my initiative when I moved back to Tobago was to have a court to play. So we renovated that court, and we're using Blue Haven next to the Bacalet Beach entrance.
Yes.
This is where we play.
Yeah.
I am aware that I believe Crown Point Hotel has a court, but to my understanding, it's only for guests.
It's only for guests, okay.
Yeah, and I think there are probably some pockets throughout that I am not sure if they officially have a group or they just play for fun.
Okay.
But I can tell you, you come to us and we give you all the equipment you need. We get you up and running from this first session. We'll teach you the rules. I think the hardest part of pickleball is probably the rules at first.
So we can discuss that. Well, because you mentioned it's similar to table tennis and also squash. All right. I mean, how do you win in terms of like sets? How much points? And tell me about the how do you get points? And is it like doubles and singles as well? Similar.
So the most popular version is doubles.
Doubles, right?
Why? Because the court is so small and you tend to be so close to each other.
Yeah.
I always say this is when the old talking happens. What also makes pickleball popular is all the talk that you're throwing back and forth. You're so close.
So pick on in between.
Yeah.
I like that.
You should hear what is going on, and everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
So you scoring, you go from 0 to 11.
So okay.
Right? The only thing about scoring is that you can only win a point when you're serving.
You can only win a point when you're serving.
So when you're not serving, you can't win a point. You're trying to get back the serve.
Oh. All right. So they flip a coin for first serve?
Yeah. You flip a coin for first serve, and then you rotate the serving.
So up to 11, and then how many sets you play?
So usually, it depends on which tournament you enter. So usually you'll play for recreational, you play one set.
Play one set, okay.
You can have best of 3.
Right. Okay.
And then you also play singles. Now singles is, doubles, 2 people, less court to cover. So it's more manageable for most people.
Yeah.
Singles now, small court, 1 person. It means you're running back and forth.
Yes, that's plus.
You just have to. You just have to hold on for their life during singles.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are enjoying the singles as well.
And is it like an inexpensive sport? Because I'm seeing the paddles here. I mean, what's it cost for like? I know some people like to go professional.
Yes.
This is a professional one, right?
Yes.
And this is like average how much?
Paddles go from, you can start as cheap as 300 TT.
Right.
And then you can go all the way up to 1600 TT.
Wow.
That's pro paddles if you want to get pro. Currently, we have all the equipment available on sale.
Yeah.
So again, once you come to Sweet Spot, we have everything you need pickleball related.
Okay, so someone watching the interview here now and they want to get involved. Tell me about contacts and days that you guys are at Bacalet and how can they get in touch with you guys?
So we are every day except Mondays. Mondays are the only day we're closed. You can find us some mornings, but every evening we're there at 6:30.
From 6, okay.
6:30, but you just contact us. The number is 720-2025. You send us a WhatsApp and then we will get you into the session.
Okay, and is there like a fee attached to train?
Right. So the fee to come, there's a one-time. If you want to do it one session, you pay $50.
Right.
However, most people usually take one of our packages, which is 10 sessions, and you pay $350. So it comes down to $35 a session.
Right.
And the sessions, though, the packages don't expire. You can share it with somebody. Like we have a lot of people just reoccurring. They decide how much they want to play for the month, and they come twice a week or 3 times a week.
And this is obviously to cover the cost for rental at the facility and also for the equipment.
So you don't have to have equipment to come.
Right.
You come and we're gonna give you equipment. We'll always provide the balls. We always provide the balls. We have equipment for you to borrow. If when you want to move up and get your own, that's in your own timing. But to start, you come and we give you all the equipment. We give you an introduction, and we have you up and running and playing.
Okay. So is there any plan for you to, like, say, form an association with you leading the charge in Tobago?
I would love to consider that option of forming the charge. I think it would definitely be a community decision. For now, we're trying to get the sport as recognized as possible.
Right.
Trying to get sponsorship for the national players we have going to Bermuda in the next few weeks. So it's about just building the community step by step, and where the roads lead, I continue to take the charge as long as everybody allow me to.
Yeah, because I saw on your Facebook page that you are trying to raise, I think it's US 25,000. I saw.
Yeah, that's TT.
That's TT.
Yeah.
Oh, TT. Sorry, TT. $25,000.
Yeah.
That's for the Caribbean.
The Caribbean Championship.
The Caribbean Championship. And that's why I asked about the association, because if you have an association, then you can approach governmental organizations to get the support. Because, as I said before, I've seen on my social media a number of persons participating and laughing, having a good time, and it's an opportunity to represent. I mean, get a sweat in and then also represent the country.
Yes.
And tell me about your career specifically, because you are a national player.
Right.
Some of the countries that you have visited to participate, and the highlights of your career thus far.
So thus far, last year I would have done Caribbean Championships in Cayman Islands.
Right.
That was basically my first time traveling to play. I would say that was definitely the highlight, because it was at that moment you realize, wow, this is possible.
It's a big thing.
It is happening. And so in terms of the national teams, you have to keep qualifying every time they have an event.
So how do you qualify?
So they hold trials in Trinidad, and you have to go down and you have to play against the other players who are trying to qualify. So that happened for Caribbean Championships, and then it happened for the World Cup.
Right.
The World Cup now happened in Fort Lauderdale. That was in November. And
that's last November.
Last November.
Okay, and how did Trinidad and Tobago?
So the Caribbean Championships last year in Cayman Islands, we came third. Trinidad and Tobago placed third.
Right.
And now in World Cup, we came out of our group. That was one of the highlights for us, and then we lost in the bracket phase after that. But we were proud that we came out of the group.
Yes.
And now we're moving on to Caribbean Championships, which is in Bermuda.
And that's a qualifier for another world event as well?
So it's going to have a World Cup again at the end of this year.
Right. So it depends on how you do in the Caribbean qualifiers. That will determine if you're going to make it to the World Cup. Is that how it works?
No, right now they have 68 countries in the World Cup. Because pickleball is still new.
Right.
They facilitate all the countries.
Everybody who wants to have a participating group in the country, you participate.
You participate.
But you have to fund yourself.
To fund yourself. So far, you have to fund yourself, but the association, I understand, is coming on board pretty soon for the entire Trinidad and Tobago. And then from there, we can now trickle down and do the right procedures to get it up and running fully.
That's fantastic. How big is the group in Tobago though?
In Tobago, I would say we have like active members, 50 people.
50 persons participating.
Yeah. Every night you'll come. And people are always shocked by how many cars they have parked up outside, and they try to figure out what is happening here, you know?
So this was at what?
So this is the people who qualified for the national team.
Right.
So we have four of us being from Tobago.
Right.
And then we qualify with the other 6 who are from Trinidad.
Oh, fantastic! That's wonderful. Wonderful. And I'm loving your jersey, Sweet Spot Tobago. That's the name of the group itself.
Yes. So the name of the club is Sweet Spot Tobago.
Okay.
And the why sweet spot is because with a paddle, there is somewhere,
Right.
the best place to hit a paddle is in the middle.
That's like a cricket bat. There's a sweet spot in the cricket bat as well.
Yeah.
Of the middle.
So when you hit it in the middle, there it's called a sweet spot.
Right.
So this is where you want to hit. This is the perfect feeling when you make contact with a with a ball.
Right.
So we use that into the name of
Sweet Spot Tobago.
Sweet Spot as
So-
the perfect spot for pickleball.
So you have like merch on sale as well?
Yeah, we have merch
At
on
the venue?
sale. We at the venue you come. We also provide. We have shoes.
Oh.
We have clothing, like all the paddles, and we a distributor for
I
a
like
few
that.
brands.
So this is a national player as well?
Yes, this is Samantha.
Samantha.
This is the spirit of the team.
so this is the dynamic duo right here.
So this is my doubles partner. Yes.
I really like that you all are branding Tobago as well. Sweet Spot Tobago. But I want to ask, right? Because in tennis, when you serve, you go like say sometime 97, 90 in the 90s miles per hour. What's the fastest you can serve with this one?
You're not gonna get 90 miles per hour
because
just
it's
because the
light.
serve is underhand.
When you see like you have to like
So there's only so much power
right.
you can put on an underhand serve.
So the trick with serving and getting a point in serving, you have to like back spin or
Spin and placement.
And placement.
Yeah.
Oh, like
you
that.
see,
Right.
That is Jay Sean. That's our 14-year-old and Josh.
Oh my goodness! I have to come and take a sweat someday. Yes.
Yeah.
It's good. It's fantastic. Lisa, it has been so good this morning chatting with you, and I know I wish you guys all the best. I mean, in terms of getting support to the group, because as you mentioned, you have to raise $25,000 just to go to the Caribbean Championship, right? And we have 4 Tobagonians there, and I'm sure Tobagonians will want to support the cause. Obviously representing the country. How can they get, so let's say a business out there and they want to sponsor, how can they sponsor? You know, you have a bank account, or can they come to Bacalat and check you? How does it work?
Right, so get in contact with us, 7/20/2025.
Yeah.
If you want to come out to Bacalat and see us in person, we're there every afternoon. You come and you see us. And also we're going to have a few fundraising events happening. So this weekend we have a lot of fun events happening. We have clinics. Josh and myself are going to be teaching a clinic.
This
on
is at
Sunday.
Bacalat, right?
Yeah.
And what time?
So this is going to be at 8:30 a.m. You
Right.
send us a message, sign up. We have limited spots. We're going to be teaching clinics. We're going to have fun events. Example tonight, we
Yes.
have a wheel. And on this wheel, you have the option you have to play with your non-dominant hand. If
Right.
you spin and you get that for the entire match, you play with the non-dominant hand.
Okay.
And you get penalized if you break the rule.
Right. That sounds like fun though.
Yeah. So we have a few fundraising events happening in the next few
And it doesn't
days.
matter from what age you're looking at. I mean, I actually don't want no 4-year-old or 5-year-old. What age ideal to start?
Right now, we only do in the afternoon sessions.
Yeah.
We only do adults.
Adults, okay,
but
cool.
we started a children's program last year.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue that once the Caribbean Championships is over. We're going to continue to open up that group from ages to
Fantastic.
7 to 15. We have classes that we're going to have for that age group to get them involved in the sport.
And tell me about your social media handles. How can persons follow you guys?
So Sweet Spot Tobago on Instagram and Facebook. You just enter that and you would be able to find us. Once you search for Sweet Spot Tobago in Google, you would see us come up. And just reach out, and we always love to talk to people and get them as excited as we are about this new sport called pickleball.
Fantastic. Lisel, thank you so much for being here this morning. And I want to wish you and the group all the best with the Caribbean Championship. And I hope that more Tobagonians, like my good friend Ronel Wood, he works here.
Yeah.
I would love to get him involved as well. He doesn't play sport, right? But I think this will be good for him.
Well, we're going to invite Ronel to come and play them.
This is a very good sport
So
for him.
this is a challenge, yeah? We have to see you there now.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming this morning. I think it's an amazing movement in Tobago, and I've seen the growth in it. And I can expect by the end of this year, you'll be overwhelmed with support from Tobagonians, young and old.
Yeah.
Yes, and I wish you guys all the best with the raising of the funds as well. And I trust that Tobagonians would also support it. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for
and
having
I look forward to all the good things happening with pickleball nationally as well. To my good friend Kenisha Dennis as well.
Yes.
All the best to everyone. Guys, this has been the Sport Talk this morning on Tobago Updates Television. It's now 8:05 a.m. You should be in work by now. Coming up next with Good Morning Tobago, it's Natalie. But guys, let's do me a favor and share the live, share the live, share the live.
Today we are proud to officially open the Roxbury Policy Club Computer Room, a space that represents growth, opportunity, and our commitment to empowering our community through education and technology.
Today's initiative that is once again being supported by the Digital Foundation, record everybody can be able to buy a computer, and even though they buy a computer, them don't have internet, and there will be a space, a safe space where they can come and do their homework and to be able to do their SBAs and to be able to ensure that they have a starting chance in life.
At Panjambago, we often speak about Panyard model. A Panyard is not just where music is played, it's where discipline is learned, talent is shaped, teamwork is built, and young people is guided in a safe space and positive environment. This exactly is what technology and education represent. Just as a Panyard brings young people together around steel pan, this center brings them together around technology to learn, to explore, and to prepare for the future.
I am truly thrilled to be here with you today as we celebrate the opening of another Technology in Education Center, the 4th Thai Center in Tobago. Through this program, we aim to bridge the digital divide by expanding access to technology and the internet in communities that need it most. And with the invaluable partnership of Panjambago, we have been able to go a step further, embedding technology within Panyards.
Just to say to the young people and all the persons who will be accessing this facility, you need to show ownership of it. You need to take care of it. And I suppose that in the not too distant future, knowing Mr. Hazel and the Policy Club, they're going to expand on it when they look at how many persons are accessing it.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
My brother Rollins, Christopher Alexander Boy's birthday, his 60th birthday is significant to us because one, he was not supposed to be alive at this time. When he was 10 years, he was knocked down by a car. He was diagnosed with low functional Down syndrome, and the doctor said he would live till about 30. But we thank God that he has blessed him with 30 extra years. Rollins' life's journey has not been an easy one. He endured misunderstanding, exclusion, and hardship. in a very time where special needs children were not recognized. Yet, through it all, Rollins persevered. Despite these challenges, he grew into a gentle, joyful, music-loving, community-embraced soul. From playing the scratcher with the Mellow Harp Steel Orchestra, to faithfully attending church, to dancing freely at every celebration, Rollins has taught us the true meaning of resilience, joy, and unconditional love.
The first day that I came, I was searching to, am I in the right place? And I wondered, whether Boy heard my plea. He came to me. It was the first time that I was meeting him. And he said, "You all right?" In truth and in fact, I was a bit shaky. I said, "Yes." But that question, I think, it placed me in a zone of comfort. When he hugged me and he said again, "You're sure?" And this, they have a way, they would put their hands here to see if you have a temperature. Sorry. He did that. And I think that confirmed my comfort. I said, "Yes, here is my place."
This is a big milestone for him because, as you know, he is here, and today this is a big experience because usually they don't live this long. As we've heard, it takes a lot of hard work, and for him to be able to still be alive and still, this is a lot of work, a lot of love from the school. We've been around him, rallying around him and teaching him, and we want him to live for as long as he can.
We want to create an environment where persons with disabilities can live independently, participate fully in society, and access high quality inclusive care. Mr. Ross is a clear example of what long-term care, love, and support from family. All right, Mr. Alexander King Boy, happy 60th birthday. Wishing you the very best. God bless and cheers.
The production of the Department of Information of
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to
Welcome viewers, I'm your host this morning, Natalie Seeley Richardson, and it is good to be back in studio. I know last Friday you all had an excellent morning with Akin Labi and Renessa on the Esplanade in Scarborough, talking all things carnival. And in true Tobago spirit, you know, when Monday and Tuesday it's done. For most people, they don't even remember they were jumping up. So it is a new Friday and we are here in studio this morning. And of course, you are viewing GMT. If this is your very first time, GMT, good morning Tobago, and welcome to Tobago Updates Television. And it is Friday, the 20th of February. We're speeding ahead. And now it's time for our news in 90 seconds. After sweeping the opening round, the West Indies have advanced to the Super 8 of the ICC T20 World Cup. Their quest for a record-breaking third title begins February 23rd against Zimbabwe, followed by South Africa on February 26th and India on March 1st. If they finish in the top 2 of their group, they will progress to the semi-finals on March 4th or 5th, with the final scheduled for March 8th. The inaugural Spelling Bee kicked off yesterday at the Scarborough Library, drawing eager participants from standards 1 through 5 of the 3 of Tobago's 4 Seventh-day Adventist primary schools. North Regional SDA School claimed the top prize, and Tobago SDA Conference Education Director Jamila Joseph Nichols indicated that years of targeted literacy and learning programs island-wide have seen improved student reading development. Organizers have announced plans to make the competition an annual fixture. Trinidad and Tobago is officially off the European Union's tax blacklist. The EU Council delisted TNT this week after it met international tax transparency standards. The Twin Island Republic was one of the 3 nations cleared in the latest update. Fiji and Samoa were also removed from the non-cooperative list. This removal ends years of strict financial monitoring by European authorities. Local businesses will no longer face higher withholding taxes on payments from the EU. The change also restores access to the European Investment Bank and global climate funds. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Shaped us from the classroom to the courtyard, from chapel mornings to graduation day. We didn't just attend Harmon, we lived Harmon. Once a Harmonite, always a Harmonite, always a Harmonite, always a Harmonite, always a Harmonite. It's time to reconnect, time to remember, time to rebuild the official
Once a Harmonite, always a Harmonite. And we're talking to 2 gentlemen, former students of the Harmon School of Seventh-day Adventist. And I know those of you who are in Tobago, you are very familiar with that school in Rockley Vale. And it has been around for some time, and of course making a mark not just in Tobago but globally as well, as they continue to produce excellent individuals to take their place in this society. And this morning we have Mr. Lawrence Hislop. We're not talking politics this morning, we're talking about Harmon. Mr. Lawrence Hislop, who is in charge of media relations of the interim committee of the Alumni Association. And we have Mr. Milton Eastman, who is chairman of that organizing committee. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Natalie. Good morning, Tobago.
And of course, we're talking about the launch of the Harmon School of 7-Day Alumni. And I'll start with you, Mr. Eastman. When we talk about an alumni, how important is that to Harmon School?
Well, alumni is always very important to a school in the sense that the school normally runs on certain models of funding. In particular, Harmon is funded partially by the government and by our Seventh-day Adventist conference. But, you know, these resources can only do so much in terms of the provision of quality education and equitable education. Education costs a lot more than it used to cost, and therefore it's always important that you have additional help, and that's where the alumni comes in. Because when I went to Harmon, I experienced quality education, and I like to know that people who attend Harmon in the future and presently will continue to experience that level of quality and even greater level of quality. So that's where the alumni come in, not only for monetary resources, but human and other resources.
And when we talk about Harmon, you know, Harmon, for those of us who are familiar with the school, would have seen, you know, various changes. So Harmon would have been a school where you had to pay to attend. At one time, it would have been fully private. That would have changed under Mr. London's you know, leadership of Chief Sec. At one point, we didn't have all these secondary schools in Tobago, and the Tobago House of Assembly would pay for spots, so to speak, at these private educational institutions, not only at Harmon, but you had one or two other schools that were fully private, and, you know, it became known as like the repeater school. But Harmon has morphed and changed so much. You know, it's now a government assisted. You have students who are writing SCA and putting Harmon for their first choice. You know, you have to make the mark if you want to get into Harmon School, and so much has changed. How old is Harmon?
Well, Harmon began in 1952.
Right.
And if you're old enough to remember, Harmon was located on Backlet Junction, just where the gift building is there. That's where the school was. And if my information is correct, started with about between 11 to 20 students.
Right.
And over the years grew into where it is now down in the valley. And I remember it is the first true blue school in Tobago. This is just a plug against Scarborough Sec, who claims that they're the true blue.
Right.
But Harmon is the true blue school down in the valley. Yeah. And so 1952 to now, 74, going on 75 years old.
And of course, for an education institution to be around would speak a lot to its transition, being able to adapt, being able to produce quality education for the students who are given that privilege to be within the walls of that school. Now, we're talking about a very specific event, which is important to not just past students, but even to the students, the staff who are currently there. And it's the launch of the Harmon Alumni Association. Is this the first time or first attempt of getting the alumni together? Tell us a bit about that and what we can expect for the launch.
Well, there has been several attempts, and there's some smaller groups that have been operating what you might consider quasi-alumni associations or alumni groups. But I believe that this time around, there is a structure in place that will lead to the association being fully operational, and as Milton rightly said, being able to contribute significantly to the school and the school's operation. And so Milton, along with the team, he's the chairman of the organizing committee, has been doing a fantastic job in terms of pulling people together, and so I believe that this time around we will get it right in terms of a fully functional and effective association, along with the principal, Ms. Ross, who has also played a very integral role in because I remember when she became the principal, that's one of the things that she always pushed for, an association that could really benefit the school as you would like it to.
And when we talk about alumni, you know, past students, there are some institutions that are very good at marketing. You know who their past students are, what they do, where they are. And when you look at Harmon, I mean, Harmon has produced and continue to produce excellent individuals who take their place. And you know, talking even to a group of young persons recently from Harmon, and you know, I would have, you know, we like to throw names. I throw some names out there, and they were like, you know, they were in the school. I say, yeah, you have, you know, people out there. You have Mr. Gilbert Peterson, senior counsel, you know, former student of Harmon School of STA. You have well, you're a Hislop, and the whole Hislop clan has passed through, you know, Harmon. We have Mr. Philbert Hislop, former student and former principal. You know, we have even these two gentlemen here who continue to hold their own in their own professional development and their professional sphere as well. Binley B, another Harmonite, you know, and we can call the names Miriam Caesar Moore. We have Dr. Donna Baird. You know, when I go to the hospital as well, you know, I see so many medical doctors who and nurses who would have walked through the walls, you know, and the corridors of Harmon, and it's just amazing, and there's a sense of pride. And I think, you know, even with the launch of the association, gentlemen, whoever, you know, gets into that post of marketing officer or whatever it may be, even the committee that is to be elected when you all reach that stage, you know, to really let the current students know, hey, greatness comes from here, and you are going to be joining that rank of greatness. So let's talk about March 1st, Mr. Eastman.
Well, March 1st is the date we had set in order to bring the Harmonite together, the alumni body together, as we tried our best to publicize the event and to reach as many alumni members as possible. And that event, really, the purpose of that event is really to elect a steering committee, which would be tasked with putting a more conventional structure in place in terms of developing the constitution, and also planning one of our main events that everybody is looking forward for, our meet and greet, and also to plan the election that would come out of the structure placed in the constitution after we get the constitution approved and so on. So we're really looking forward to everybody coming out, all the Harmonite coming out. We have a number of persons on we have former chat, and it's amazing how I'm getting the feeling of the alumni already, because people came forward and donated, you know, like water and the snacks, and business people coming forward, and even the video and so on. That is done by one of the board members who has the techno service skill. Then the registration form and these things are done, were done by Harmonites that came forward. So you start to get the feeling of the alumni already, where people coming forward to really share their expertise. So I'm looking forward to that event being a success, so that we can move towards, you know, really securing Harmon alumni in a very structured kind of fashion.
And Lawrence, give us some more information on the March 1st, where it is, when, the time, who needs to be there.
Well, it's at the school's auditorium, that infamous place for so many chapels and graduations and so on. And it's at the registration starts at 4:30. We kick off the event at 5. You have to dress elegantly, casual. It is going to be a fantastic event. If you're a past student of Harmon, a supporter, a parent, you are invited to come and be part of just being part of the togetherness and the camaraderie and the celebration that is there. As Milton spoke to the group is already at 100, and the WhatsApp group is already at 138 members, and this was within a few weeks' time.
Right.
And so if you are a past student of Harmon and you're listening and you're viewing and you were not aware, you could reach out to any one of us. You could be added to the group just to be part of this event come March the 1st. Registration is at 4:30, as I said. We start at 5, elegantly casual. let's come out and have a good time at the school's auditorium.
And I think, you know, even having an alumni association affords the opportunity for networking.
Yes.
You know, and let me put in a plug, even for the students who would have, you know, recently graduated, joining an alumni association assist you even in your personal growth and development. You find mentors, you find persons who would have already made that work and are able to guide you. And you know, just being a part of an association to give back, I think that is something that is just awesome. It provides you an opportunity to say thank you. You mightn't be able to give the money for the school to build a whole wing, but you'll be able to purchase something in the lab or contribute, and when everything is added up, the wing will happen. You know, so I really think, and I wish, you know, the organizing team all the success. And for those who are listening, you know, once a Harmonite, always a Harmonite. If you have been a teacher, a former parent, you know, recently graduated, you know, and we call names like Bindi B. We talk about Mr. Hezekiah Wood. We are familiar with Mr. Wood, with his stories when he's on Tobago Updates. And, you know, these are people you always hear them talk about the Harmon experience.
And that is what it is, you know, because we were not just a school.
Right.
Especially during those early days, you were not just a school. Before we got the government assistance and so on, there's so much that students, along with the staff, had to do on their own. And so Harmon was not just going to school. Harmon was an experience.
Right. Excellent. And that is something I always hear from the students, even those who would have gone to other schools, because of course we know that sometimes our students may not be our students in terms of students across the board in Tobago may not be successful at CSEC, and what we do is we say you have to repeat, and some of them may get the opportunity to come to Harmon. And you know, they talk about the difference from their former school to the relationships they are having now, and how, you know, it's more like a family. And I think that's a very special thing for young people to experience within a school, where you hear sometimes the negativity, where they talk about teachers don't care about them, or, you know, but Harmon really provides that experience. So spread the word, let people know, just in case they would have missed it. And that's a beautiful promo, whoever did that video. You know, it makes me feel as though I want to be part of the association, you know, but we'll see, because they said you said well wishers can be a part too, so you don't know what may happen out of this. So gentlemen, again, I wish you all the best. I'm not sure if you have anything else you may need to share in case we would have skipped something, but March 1st, if you have been part of the Harmon experience in whatever way it would have brought you into Harmon, March 1st at the school's auditorium. So you're registering on site, right? So don't worry if you find out that Sunday morning. You can still organize yourself. 4:30 registration, and everything will happen from there. And I think it's just, I mean, I'm thinking of the reconnections. Tobago is small, but we're so busy. You don't see people all the time, or if you see them, it's a quick hello. This also provides that social engagement.
And as you rightly said, sometimes you don't even know that somebody went to Harmon.
Yes.
And so an event like that is going to say, but hey, I didn't know you were a Harmonite. And so
because even when I knew I had to interview both of you, I was asking some of the older Harmonites, you know, who are some people you all went to school with? Okay, drop some names to me. And when they said Pinley B, I say, really? I say, but everybody walked through Harmon, you know, and, you know, we have names. Even we have Dr. Marlene Murray. She's a professor of natural sciences at one of the Adventist universities, I think Andrews University in Michigan, USA. And we can just continue to drop names. And these are persons, you know, and of course, I know you all will set up your different chapters, etc. You have resources who are not just in terms of financial resources, but that knowledge set, you know, to do mentorship programs, etc. And I think this is really great, and I really wish you all the best. So make sure, those of you who are listening, you know your friend in the office is a Harmonite, you know this one went, let them know that they have an appointment on March 1st at 4:30 p.m. at the school's auditorium. And as we look to wrap up, a fond memory. It may not be fun for you, but you know, sometimes you have these experiences that stay with you forever when you go through secondary school. And I know coming out of Harmon, you may have many. And I want both of you just take that trip back and share a fond memory, something you remember.
So let me go first. I might choose the one that you want to choose. I remember one day when they were at school, deceased Bela, he was a very mischievous guy. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, some happening in the science lab, and Bela, I don't think Bela was even doing science. The lab caught a fire, right? And Mr. Hislop, you know, he is very short in stature. He tried to jump the fence because there was a fence between the lab and the library. And so because of his short stature, and you know, he used to wear these tunic shirts.
Yes.
He stuck on the fence, right? And you know, all the drama took place. And
when we talk about Mr. Hislop, we're talking about Mr. Philbert Hislop, and he was principal at that time, all right?
So obviously the principal wants to be the hero.
Yes.
So he stuck on the fence, and you know, the fire was out, and you know, they put out the fire and so on. And after all the drama was finished, then they have to go and take him off the fence. So you know, so his attempt to be a part of the whole solution, he had to stay right on the fence there until, I don't know if he remembers that, but that would have been one of the most outstanding fun memory for me.
Right. All right.
There's a lot, man. There's a lot, actually. There's a lot. I remember the days of running away from school. There's a place we call Dark Night. There's a huge drain underneath the highway that runs from in the back of Harmon, back of the field, into Botanic Garden, and that's one of our used to be one of our getaway points. We used to, when we want to break beach, as we say, we will get into that tunnel and make our way.
Because you're not making the escape on the road,
because
so you can't
go up the hill. If you go up the hill, you're going to be seen.
Yes.
So we would go down on the field, and we will slip away into the little bushes behind the field, down into the ravine, into the tunnel, and we into
and make it escape.
And there are others, but you ask for one. So those are some
and I'm sure on March 1st, more stories will be exchanged as you reminisce, you know. So at this time, viewers, we go for a break, and when we return, we get ready to meet our next set of guests. And remember, you are viewing GMT on Tobago Updates Television. We'll be right back.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy filled us.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Every night and day, I want to wave, I want to wine, I want to party with you. Party with you. I want to look it right, yeah. I want to wave, I want to wine, I want to party with you. Party with you. Party with you. When the rhythm pumping up, it's everybody jumping up. We sweating, we sweating. And when the sun is blazing, it's party like we crazy.
Coming up, bets, pan, parades, soca. Yes, Carnival is in full swing. Artists from all over added their strokes to Antigua and Barbuda's canvas. A boost for these Barbadian projects through the power to make a difference. Equal servings of culture and good cheer. It's Caribbean Passport TV right here on this station.
Who said
elderly can't have fun too. We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound at Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and seatbelts on. Watch now, when we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure bellies. You ever play bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Pick up Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
To a stranger.
Come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yeah. Total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla? I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning,
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you for staying with us. You are viewing GMT Good Morning Tobago, and I am your host, Natalie C.D. Richardson. And before I introduce you to my next guest, I just want to share this information. And for those who it concerns, the Trinidad and Tobago Association of Retired Persons, Corals Zone, you are being reminded of your monthly meeting, which will be held tomorrow, Saturday, February 21st at the Signal Hill Community Center at 3 p.m. So for all of you who are members of that group, the Trinidad and Tobago Association of Retired Persons, Coral Zone, your meeting is tomorrow at 3 p.m. So if you know someone who is a member of that group, let them know that they need to be at Signal Hill Community Center tomorrow for their monthly meeting. And let's get right into our guest at this time, and that is Mr. Opoku Ware. Yes, and you know, he is going to be telling us about a cool down carnival event. People still cooling down, and we are glad that you are here with us this morning. So welcome. And before we get into the event, I must ask you about the name. It's not every day you come across a name, such a powerful name like that. So tell our viewers a little bit about the behind scenes of the name.
Well, if you want to get behind the scenes of why I have this name is because, you know, during the 1970s, there was this massive upheaval of consciousness throughout Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. And Tobago was part of that movement. You know, and we had leaders here. In fact, the established leader in Tobago at that time was a former student of the Sir George Williams University from Scarborough here, Anthony Williams, Tony McFarlane. And Tony he was a nice guy, he was a brother. And after we, well, you know, when the government, led by Eric Williams, the PM government, cracked down on the demonstrators, and they arrested hundreds of people and jailed some of us.
Right.
After we were released in Tobago, we wanted to keep up the momentum.
Right.
So Jaja, he used to take me around and teach me because he was a graduate in history, so he used to tutor me, show me the way, tell me about the Tobago history and so on. And then when we were taking African names, he said, you know, you use Opoku Ware because Opoku Ware was a fella on the West Coast in Ghana who stood up against the British invaders. So he gave me that name.
And thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's quite interesting. But you are also here to talk about the Ultimate After Carnival Experience 26. And this event is taking place in Buku. Tell us a bit more about this event and how long it has been in existence.
Well, the Ultimate After Carnival Experience in Tobago, we came up with that concept because we had formed the Tobago African Union. And part of our goal is to promote the indigenous culture of the island. So about 12, 14 years ago, we started doing this event at Buku, where we will integrate the best of Tobago, the carnival artistry, with the indigenous sport of goat racing, and sometimes we splice in a crab race also. But so it is geared towards giving the hundreds of visitors that come to Tobago after Trinidad Carnival because you know Tobago, we don't get that bulk of people here during the carnival days, the in Trinidad.
Right.
So after the carnival, when you want to come to Tobago, we decided to put on something to showcase the cultural talent of the island, and also to ensure that the visitors get a taste of what we have to offer. So like, for example, over the years, we have people like Super Blue had appeared on the event.
Right.
You know, some of the big names. We had Gypsy appearing, and but what we do is highlight what we have in Tobago.
Right.
Like, for example, this year we will be having the 1996 National Road March champion, who is a Tobagonian, Marvin Lewis.
Right.
He will be doing a whole repertoire of his songs. We will be projecting Walter Coppin. You know, he is more based in North America, so
Yes.
he's back here to do
Right.
his thing, and he has an understanding of how Carnival was in Tobago, because we have to embrace the concept or the truth that Tobago is part of Trinidad and Tobago. That is a fact. We are a nation.
Right.
So we must find ways of unifying the nations. Our culture is one way factor in the unification effort. So you have, for example, the East Indian cultures in Trinidad merging with the African culture and forming a dynamic expression.
Right.
Now, what we are proposing and projecting is that something like this after Carnival event, which starts at 2 p.m. at the Buko complex, we have the, you know, goat racing has developed in Tobago as an indigenous sport from decades through the last century. And it is a phenomenon in that it captures the imagination of locals and visitors. So what we have done is to get the fastest goats in Tobago.
All right.
And to bring them to run about 6 races on the day. Then we're going to be having some of the finest Spanish in Tobago on show.
Right.
Because you have to, we all recognize that steel pan is a wonder of the world. That for any people to develop a pan as an instrument, an old oil drum, and take it and carve it into an instrument, that is a kind of ingenious and imaginative mind power to achieve such an objective.
Mr. Warren, let me ask you, right? So people, you mentioned, you know, one of the target audience groups would be people who are coming to Tobago to cool down after the Trinidad revelry. And we know that when in Tobago, when you hear goat racing, it's usually Easter time. I want you to talk to the locals who are here, people who live here at Tobago, and say, well, we could catch up with that Easter time. Why should they be a part of this event on Sunday at the Buku Integrated Facility at 2 p.m.?
No, one of our fundamental errors as a people, is that we use we follow the European set patterns of cornering, of putting our culture into a little space in the year.
Right.
So Calypso and so, that is for Carnival.
Right.
Nonsense. You can't go in England and tell them not to play the Beatles song any time of the year, or go in India and tell them not to play the big Bollywood and hits on them, or go to America and tell them don't play country and western so and so time. So the culture must not be limited to any specific time, because we have to know that God is in every culture. The reason why we could have Pan, the reason why we could have Calypso, is because of the power of the God force that governs the universe. So it is important for us to use every opportunity to showcase and push our cultural forms so that it could be appreciated not only by visitors but by people here, because we first have to start to appreciate what we have.
Correct.
Because if you want to cook our food and don't eat it, who will eat it first?
Right.
So here we go again.
And is this a family-oriented event? Can parents say, let me bring the
Oh,
kids out?
yes. We have, this is really a family thing because the goat races are exciting. The kids go be amazed by the goats running down the track at full pace, full throttle. The people would enjoy the kind of songs we have. We don't have no songs that no racist songs, no dirty songs and that kind of thing.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I know oftentimes when we have events and it's advertised family friendly or bring the kids out, when you get there, sometimes parents are blocking the ears of their children, covering eyes because it's not so child friendly.
No, those are irresponsible promoters. We believe in contributing to the efforts of the Tobago House of Assembly, of this party-led administration. We believe in contributing to them to position Tobago in a beautiful place on planet Earth. And part of our thing is that if we are promoting culture, we must keep it clean. We don't have to be dirty and so with our culture to really gain attraction. Our culture is powerful enough so that it could generate appreciation. You don't have to go down to that level, because when you go down to that level, what you're doing is destroying the mindset of the people. They're destroying their morals, and anytime you allow your people morals to be destroyed, you'll become as the story in the Bible talk about a place called Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right. And so we're talking about Sunday, 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Goat racing. When we talk about races, it's a contest, it's a competition. So can those entering these races expect prizes?
Yes, well, we have to, and this is part of our only problems in promoting now. We have to go and raise funding to satisfy, to be able to pay prizes to the goat, because to bring up a race goat, the goat to race, is very expensive. The men have to buy feed, they have to buy special medicine. You know, it's an expensive exercise, and they have to take their time to go out and train these goats and so on. So we have to appreciate their efforts, and as promoters, we have to go out and walk the streets, beat the ground to raise funding so that the winners could be awarded prizes, cash prizes.
And I was privileged to see the flyer for the event, and I saw it's on the bottom of the flyer has walk with your cooler. So patrons who are coming, and of course I want you to share the admission cost for those who want to be a part of this after Carnival cool down experience. When you say walk with your coolers, what?
Well, I mean, people are free to, because we are not running an alcohol bar, right?
Okay.
So if people want to walk with the things so they could refresh themselves, it's up to them,
Right.
So
and of course, tell us about the entrance.
Well,
the admission fee.
Entrance fee is a measly 100 TT and 15 US. Because these are very expensive productions.
Right.
The advertisement, the catering for, we have a big sound system.
Right.
We have artists to pay, what I mean?
Yes.
We have workers and that kind of thing. So sometimes you do these things and you end up with nothing,
Yes.
So we're hoping that probably we could do something, because we want to be able to do more events throughout the year.
Of course.
So if we could make a profit now, we could invest that in other promotions, because we do promotions for like emancipation, we do things for the Tobago Carnival in October and so on.
And so for those of you who are interested, that's Sunday. I'm reminding you of the date, Sunday the 22nd of February. That's this Sunday at the Buku Integrated Facility at 2 p.m. $100 TT or 15 US. And of course, for children, it's half price. And you are allowed to walk with your coolers. And it's about promoting the culture, promoting what belongs to us. And I love how Mr. Wari would have said, we box things into a day or a season. But if it's ours all throughout. So let's embrace it. Let's promote it. Expose our children to what comes from here, because people pay money to come to this part of the world to see the goat race, to experience it, and it's ours. We have it here, so why not? So something to do. And of course, I know many of you are always looking for events you can take children to. It has been promoted as a family-friendly event, so you can definitely check it out. And as we wrap up, Mr. Worry, you are part of a group of promoters, and you mentioned the importance of culture. Why is putting on an event like this important to you and your partners?
Well, anytime you lose your cultural roots as a people, you will die, For example, what makes, all you talk about United States, the big thing in United States in terms of the cultural expression is country and western,
Yeah.
In India and so on, Bollywood and so is based on the production of the Indian music and so on.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing that starting to happen in West Africa and so on. Well, Europe had them thing down pat from long time.
Mm-hmm.
And we in the Caribbean here, particularly we, who have passed through that slave experience, who have lost everything. Because, when I took my African name, for example, my own people used to laugh at me.
Right.
Because
yes, it seemed quite
you
odd.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And senior men who were in politics at that time used to ridicule you.
Right.
Because of the backwardness, because they don't appreciate who they really are. Mm-hmm. And if you know your history, and you know that at one time your people ruled the world, your people gave the world literature, mathematics, architecture, and all the sciences in the world. Africans went all over the world and taught. The first university in Europe was built in Spain by Africans. In Salamanca in Spain, that's the first university Europe had. They came down here and established the Incas and Aztec empires. They went to China. If you see the early pictures of people in China. So that you come from a great people who had great civilizations. So it is important to promote the expressions that come out of that scenario. We developed the goat racing in Tobago, and we develop things like steel pan and calypso.
Yes.
Have its roots from Africa and it expanded here. So we must promote those things. When we do those things, when we promote our culture, we make our people a stronger people, a more confident people. Mm-hmm. A people who have nothing often walks with their head bowed,
Right.
So, but we're going to be proud people because, as you say, nothing lasts forever, and everything in dialectics, everything affects everything.
Right.
So that it's important to not only promote the culture, but to see our people come out and appreciate it.
Of course.
So that is why we're inviting everybody to come down. It's going to be a beautiful time down in Buku. That is all I can say. It would be wonderful. It would be, and as Donald Trump does say, it would be beautiful.
Thank you so much for sharing it. Also, viewers, I hope that you have been inspired. It's about what belongs to us. You have somewhere to be on Sunday, the 22nd, at the Buku Integrated Facility at 2 p.m. So you can gather your family together, friends, and just go and chill. It's an after carnival cool down experience waiting for you. You get to experience crab racing, goat racing, some kaiso, steel pan. And as Mr. Wari said, we usually box these cultural experiences into seasons, but it belongs to us, and we have all year, every day, to experience it and to showcase it. So that's all the time we have, viewers, this morning as we end GMT Good Morning Tobago. It's always a pleasure to spend my Friday morning with you. And let me remind you that the weekend has begun, and yes, you are your brother's keeper. Let's look out for each other as we, enjoy some downtime for this weekend, and I encourage all of us to remain safe, and hopefully we'll see each other again next time.